was his name. As a boy he always knew a sailor he would be, so he studied the law of the sea. Captain of his crew, a brave, ambitious man, determined to explore, he discovered a new land. The sun and sky and his heart would be his guide, a man of valor and pride. The king and queen, their blessings he obtained to carry the flag of Spain. Through tempest and rain, a strong, courageous man, determined to explore, he discovered a new land. The sails raised high, he searched the great unknown, his quest for adventure, dispelling any fear. A sure, courageous man, Columbus it was he, who sailed to new horizons across the great blue sea.
There it is! We're home, boys! Yeah! We're home! Hey, put me down! Boys in Spain! We've done it! We're home! I knew we'd make it!
Oh, dear Lord. Thank you for bringing us safely back home again.
March 15th, 1493. After a voyage of 225 days, we have returned to Palos. I have proved that my theory was right. The Indies can be reached by sailing west across the ocean. Raise the royal ensign! Prepare to fire a cannon! Fire!
Huh? It's the Niña. She's returned.
Hi, everyone! I have good news! The good ship Niña's back in Palos Harbor! Ahoy, friends! We're home!
And what a voyage we had!
The Niña's returned! The Niña! Why, that's one of Captain Columbus's ships!
Welcome back!
The Lord brought you safely home.
Welcome home, men of the Niña! I know you've come back safely. After all, my dad was commanding the fleet.
It's good to be in Spain again.
Hey!
But where are the Pinta and the Santa Maria?
The Santa Maria was my father's ship. Why isn't he here as well?
Huh?
Dad, over here! I'm going closer. Welcome home, Niña! Welcome home, Dad!
Diego, can you hear me, son?
Sure can! Good to have you home again! I was a good boy while you were gone, just like I promised!
Hey, Diego! Go meet your father in the harbor!
Right! Look, dear, your father's come home after nearly 7 months at sea.
What a triumph for our country!
Hooray for the men of the Niña!
Hooray for Captain Columbus!
Captain, he's an admiral now! Wait, Mel. There were 3 ships, weren't there?
My Pedro was aboard the Santa Maria!
Don't worry, I'm sure your husband's fine. This is a great day, a day for celebrating.
Celebrating? How can I celebrate without my beloved Pedro?
Admiral Columbus is going ashore!
Welcome home to the commander of the fleet!
Admiral Columbus. Oh. Huh?
I'm so glad you're safe and sound here.
Welcome home, Pedro! Dad! Dad, welcome home!
Diego!
I sure missed you.
I came home safely, son, just as I promised I would.
Did you really make it to the Indies?
Mm-hmm.
I always knew you would.
Oh, yes, I was very lucky, son. Father Perez.
Congratulations, Christopher.
Thank you very much, Father. I couldn't have done it without your help.
Oh no, it was the Lord who helped you, Christopher.
O Lord, in thy infinite mercy, thou hast granted the sailors of the Niña a safe return from their perilous journey. Let their brave deeds glorify thy name, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen.
You should have seen the waves. They were as high as the roof of this church.
It's very strange. We should have had news of the Pinta by now. It hasn't been sighted anywhere along the local coastline.
That is strange, Father. I was sure the Pinta would already be here. While I was in Portugal, I heard it had landed in the northern Spanish port of Bayona.
I hope that the crew is all right.
Yes, so do I.
Admiral Columbus!
Huh?
The Pinta is here. She just entered the harbor.
At last.
Let's go greet Captain Pinzon.
Is that really the Pinta?
No, it can't be. Welcome aboard, Admiral.
Thank you, Seaman. Where's Captain Pinzon?
Over there, sir.
Let me through.
Huh? What is it?
Captain Pinzon! What on earth has happened to him?
My dear brother caught a fever while we were fighting the storm. I begged him to go below decks and rest. But he refused, and the fever grew steadily worse. Now I fear he may no longer have the strength he needs to recover.
He should be carefully carried ashore and taken immediately up the hill to La Rábida. The monks there will take good care of him.
Mm-hmm. The Admiral's right.
Tragic. Such a young man, and his life is ebbing away. Let us say a prayer for Captain Pinzon.
Excuse me, sir. The royal court is in Barcelona, and their majesties are expecting your report. You must set out for Barcelona right away.
Fine. Martin, my friend. I'm going to see the king and queen and tell them of our voyage to the Indies. You must get better soon. Their majesties will want to hear from you, too.
No, my story won't be told. These are my last moments, Admiral.
Don't say that.
You will get better. That's right. You mustn't give up.
Yes?
I want you to give this to Her Majesty Queen Isabella.
Captain Pinzon.
Martin! Martin! Can you hear me?
I think he's gone. Most royal sovereigns, I come before you today to report on my successful expedition to the Indies.
Admiral, please sit before us.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Admiral Columbus, we congratulate you. The success of your expedition gratifies us most highly. The fact that you had to struggle for many years before finally securing the permission you needed to cross the ocean only adds luster to your great triumph.
Thank you for those kind words, Your Majesty.
I have more than kind words to offer you today, Admiral. The King and I have decided that we will sponsor a second expedition to the Indies. Can we count on you to be its commander?
It would be an honor, Your Majesty.
As you are undoubtedly aware, the King of Portugal is also sponsoring voyages to the Orient, but he has opted for the eastern route around Africa. A race is on between his country and ours. You must win that race and claim the heathen lands of Asia for Spain.
Are you confident in your ability to do what we ask?
Yes, I know I'll succeed.
Admiral,
Yes?
what's the fastest way to Asia?
Well...
Go on, Admiral. Tell her.
All right. The fastest way to Asia is to head west. Just like the sun up in the sky. Think you can remember that?
Mm-hmm. Next time you go there, I'll go too.
Huh?
Sailing on the uncharted ocean takes great courage.
Oh, believe me, I know.
Is it true that the heathen all live in shameless nakedness?
There's money to be made in the Indies. Big money. Gold, silk, spices, all there for the picking.
Yes.
Oh, Admiral, it's such an honor to meet you.
An honor? Huh? Oh, come now. What honor is there in meeting a common sailor? And a foreigner to boot. You're lucky to be here, Columbus.
To whom have I the pleasure of speaking, if I may ask?
I am Don Emilio Figueras, and I say this voyage to the Indies was no great feat.
Why, of all the... Huh?
Anyone could have done what you did. We all know the world's round, and if you sail west, you'll reach Asia. I'm no sailor, but I could have told their majesties that.
So could I. So could my dog.
Don Emilio, I have a little test for you.
A test?
Yes, it's quite easy. I'd like you to take a boiled egg and stand it on its end. Do you think you can do that?
On its end? Why, certainly any idiot can do that. Do it.
Mm-hmm. Huh?
Let me try again. I'll get it this time. This is harder than it looks.
Let me try that.
It can't be done. This is a trick by the Admiral.
Don't tell me you can't do it.
Of course we can't. It's impossible. I'm certain that you can't do it either.
Yes, I can do it.
Well, come on, we're waiting.
Now observe. See, the egg is standing on its end.
That's not fair! If you crack the egg's shell like that, it's child's play to stand it on its end.
Exactly. The solution to a problem always seems simple once someone has pointed it out. That's as true for an egg as it is for the Indies.
You certainly proved your point, Admiral.
Well done, Admiral Columbus. Well done. This country needs more good men like you.
Did you see the way he put that halting on Emilio in his place? Oh, it was priceless.
I must not give in to my weariness. I'm almost there. I have sworn to make this pilgrimage to the Church of Our Lady of Guadalupe in gratitude for the Nina's deliverance from that storm. I have drawn the token. If we survive, I swear I'll make the pilgrimage. On September 25th, 1493, the second expedition to the Indies set out. Under my command were 17 ships and 1,500 men. The crowd that assembled for our send-off was huge and enthusiastic. On Sunday, November 3rd, we made our first landfall on an island that I named Dominica. From there, we sailed to an island I named Guadalupe after the church where I made my pilgrimage. Then it was on to Hispaniola, where 39 men from our first voyage had stayed behind and founded the settlement of Navidad. But where the settlement had stood, we found charred ruins and the signs of a pitched battle. The men of Navidad, driven by greed and arrogance, had abused the island's inhabitants in their quest for gold. The angry inhabitants finally attacked Navidad and killed every one of the 39 men who had built it, including my friend Diego de Hirana. Under my command, the men of the second expedition built a new settlement on Hispaniola at a site named Isabella after Spain's queen. As the island's governor, I was beset by complaints and problems. Administrative work bored and confused me, so I set out on a new voyage of exploration. I found a large landmass known to the natives as Cuba, as well as numerous smaller islands which I explored and charted. But my dream of finding the treasure-laden cities of India and Cathay continued to elude me. The territories I found were empty of cities, and even worse, nearly empty of gold. I returned to Spain to report on my findings, but the king and queen were bitterly disappointed. They had hoped for gold and treasure with which to restore Spain's wealth, and my stories of the virgin jungles I had found only frustrated them. On May 30th, 1498, I led a third expedition westward across the ocean. When I arrived in Hispaniola, I found that rebellion had broken out in the settlement of Navidad. My efforts to restore order only seemed to fan the flames of resentment, until a royal envoy named Francisco de Bobadilla arrested me and returned me to Spain in irons, stripped of my titles and my dignity. Only after weeks of written entreaties did I obtain an audience with the Queen and the restoration of my titles. My fourth and final expedition began on May 9th, 1502, but bad weather and misfortune dogged the voyage from beginning to end. On November 7, 1504, I arrived back in Spain. My hope of finding the fabled wealth of the Indies seemed as distant as ever. At the end of that year, Queen Isabella, my greatest patroness, left this world. Now, less than 2 years later, many scholars and seafarers are suggesting that the lush, wild lands I discovered are not the Indies at all, but rather part of a vast continent previously unknown to the geographers of Europe. They call this continent the New World. Now, on May 20th, 1506, my life draws to a close. What fame I might once have enjoyed has long since been eclipsed by names like Negama and Vespucci, and in the final hours of my life, only a few relatives are on hand to mark my passing. I commend my soul into the hands of the Lord. If there is a lesson to draw from my life, it is surely that the human spirit reaches its highest expression when it is imaginative and resourceful, when in the face of adversity and discouragement the soul does not waver nor the will relent in the determined pursuit of a dream.